Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. Every time I start to get super excited about the offseason, the Broncos cut a player I love, Perna. Yes, we knew it might happen. We knew none of his $4.5 million salary was guaranteed. We knew that the Broncos tried to trade him to Miami for right tackle Jawan James, but we never thought they'd actually release running back C.J. Anderson. At least I didn't, because with C.J. on the roster, you knew one thing for sure heading into the draft. You didn't need a fucking running back. I am so glad we have another hole to fill on offense. Running back, tight end, slot receiver, tackle. Oh, why don't you just go ahead and cut Matt Paradis, Case Keenum, and Ron Leary while you're at it? So long, CJ. I hope you land with a contender. That's good sports. I do have big dick Patreon shoutouts for. Coming in hot today is Jonathan Sudith, a monster cock, blow my freaking mind donation of $100. What are you doing, Jonathan? Thank you. All of you, if you can be more like Jonathan, I'll be doing A-okay. Buddy McButtface for upping their donation to $3, and Ben Hoff upping his $5 to a $10 donation. Andreas Bosales, Colin Smith, Matt Bernier, or is it Bernier? Ocats Shawolf upping to $3. TWS Kauai SY. I like Kauai, my favorite place. Will you adopt me? And McVeigh's hair gel. Thank all of you guys. Oh my god, thank you. Monthly donations is how this channel stays alive. Your donations are literally the only thing that is keeping me from taking a real job right now. So I appreciate the support. I do offer a Patreon-only podcast for my patrons. So you can donate at patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. Thanks. First John Cena and Nikki Bella split. Then the Broncos divorce C.J. Anderson. What's next? What is next? Neil deGrasse Tyson tells us all of science is fake? And that he's the real father of Khloe Kardashian's new baby? I can't deal with this shit. Look, CJ's had a lot of great runs as a Denver Bronco. In the Super Bowl against the Panthers, the overtime win against the Patriots, but this here against the Oakland Raiders is my all-time favorite CJ Anderson play. Manning dumps it out to him. CJ he just doesn't go down. He weaves across the field. And then you got Wes Welker flying into frame here at the end to try to throw one last block. CJ scores. This is the play that put Anderson on the map. This is when people were like, aw, shit, this guy might be good. And anytime I think about CJ's career, this is the play I think about. Before I show you the silver lining, let me just reiterate how underrated CJ Anderson really is. I've already mentioned he was the best blocking halfback in the NFL last year in previous videos. Now imagine how many more sacks and interceptions happened in 2017 if CJ isn't the best at picking up missed fucking blocks or blitzes. Actually, don't imagine that, because you'd just be seeing mid-season funerals for Trevor Siemian, Brock Osweiler, and Paxton Lynch. And whether or not you think they're a good quarterback, none of us want to see him die. If you do, you're a sick fuck. CJ was their angel, keeping him alive. Now Anderson grinded out to 1,000+ rushing yards behind an offensive line that ranked in the bottom 10 of the NFL. The Broncos had one of the worst ranked offenses in the NFL, but CJ somehow managed to make the rushing attack respectable. His running grade in Pro Football Focus premium stats was second best in the league for running backs who played at least 50% of the snaps in 2017. Hell, only 21 backs even were able to play 50% of the snaps in 2017. We also know that every time he got at least 20 carries, the Broncos won in 2017. CJ Anderson was the 8th best in the league with 37 missed tackles last year. That's sandwiched between Todd Gurley at 7 and Devonta Freeman at 9. I should point out that the two running backs who forced the most missed tackles were Kareem Hunt with a ridiculous 61 and Melvin Gordon with 48. Then you had Marshawn Lynch at 42, which means the AFC West had 4 running backs in the top 10. Good thing the Broncos decided that's an area they want to get worse. The most likely landing spot for CJ may be Miami, and not just because of the cocaine. I'm not saying CJ does cocaine. I'm not saying I do cocaine, but that's the number one reason I would go to Miami, for its perfect cocaine. Also, Adam Gase isn't an idiot, and he realizes how much value CJ Anderson may provide to his roster. That's the hot name that CJ's linked to. Gase, CJ. But every time a veteran player is cut, he gets linked to the New England Patriots. Unfortunately, CJ Anderson would be a perfect fit there. And I hate to say those words. CJ was one of, if not the smartest players on the Broncos offense. His football acumen is high, and again, protection is his specialty. The Patriots, excluding Gronk, value intelligence more than anything when evaluating players, and I would be surprised if they aren't interested in CJ to help protect Tom Brady this next season. Here's the silver lining I said I would get to, okay? Maybe it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. First thing, maybe the Broncos take Saquon Barkley now at number 5 in the draft. That would be exciting, and if he's as good as everyone says he is, that could be an upgrade at the position. Second thing is, I was excited about D'Angelo Henderson last preseason. Probably more excited than anyone when I think about it. I predicted he would finish his career in the Pro Football Hall of Fame every time he touched the ball. Look, I'm not perfect, but I was high on CJ Anderson during his preseason debut in Denver in 2013. And due to injury that season, CJ only got 7 carries during the 2013 season. Guess how many carries Henderson had last year? 7. The exact same number as CJ in his first year with the Broncos. If that is not destiny, I don't know what the hell is. Here's the proof that I was all over CJ Anderson early on. I think everybody today is talking about the undrafted player, CJ fucking Anderson, tearing it up last night. CJ Anderson looks like a mix of Ray Rice, Doug Martin, and Maurice Jones-Drew. You take the best attributes those 3 guys have, you put them into a pile, and that's what CJ Anderson's gonna be. And if his running style looks familiar, it's because he's the illegitimate love child of former Denver Broncos running back Mike Anderson and current Buffalo Bills running back CJ Spiller, hence the name CJ Anderson, which they aptly named him. When asked about this, Mike Anderson said, and I quote, "It was just a one-night stand between me and CJ. Personally, I blame Von Miller for the whole debacle. Von peer pressured me into smoking some of that AK-47 and Big Buddha cheese, and CJ and I ended up making a child together." Conclusion? Henderson should be as good as CJ. Now, based on Twitter, I think a lot of people want to give John Elway shit for getting rid of CJ Anderson. Maybe that's fair, but to me, and this is just my professional opinion, I am a professional, this smells like a Kubiak move. Traditionally, Kubiak does not like to have a running back by committee. Personally, I think Kubiak wants a feature back to carry the rock 25 to 30 times a game. I say that a bit ironically because every time you made CJ Anderson the feature back in 2017, the fucking Broncos won. This does clear $4.5 million in cap space for the Broncos. I think that gives them about $14 million now, and like $2.6 million after they signed all of their rookies from the draft. There are a lot of running backs for the Broncos to consider in this draft. They visited with San Diego State running back Rashaad Penny. And even though I usually never trust a man whose last name is a monetary denomination, Penny averaged 7.8 yards per carry with 23 touchdowns and 2,248 rush yards last season. That is crazy. There are a lot of quality backs in this draft: Barkley, Gase, Rollins, Penny, Ronald Jones, the other Chubb, Nick, Sony Michel, and Damon Foreman. 2 of those guys aren't real, but I'll let you figure that one out. And I guess the Broncos still believe in Devontae Booker. This move, to me, really makes the Broncos even more unpredictable for this draft. I thought I didn't know what they were going to do before. Now I have no clue. I think it's a little shitty they waited this long to release CJ, as most teams have their rosters kind of set in prep for the draft. I'm just glad I'll never have to know what it feels like to think you're going to make $4.5 million one year and then have it ripped from your grips like the girl at the beginning of Cliffhanger. No, I'm living game. Game to let me fall now. No, I'm falling. Game. Does this move make the Broncos better? Not today it doesn't, but possibly if they draft the right running back, or if Booker or Henderson emerge as home run hitters. But this is a move that is very gray. It might be the right move in the long run, but feels shitty right now. You know, a cut is good when it feels like the end of The Good Son. It's the opposite of cliffhanger when the mom drops Macaulay Culkin into the fucking ocean to his death instead of Frodo. Yeah, that felt right. That's how I felt when the Broncos cut Dale Carter and the 63-year-old Jerry Rice. Today was the first day of offseason workouts for the Broncos. Riley Dixon is still on the roster, so I'd be curious to see if he showed up to try and pull a Tanya Harding on Marquette King. Matt Paradis still hasn't signed his tender, but he showed up, which just continues to show you how good of a dude he really is. The Broncos brass are also having dinner with Baker Mayfield tonight, probably somewhere fancy like Elway's or the Sizzler. I'd like to talk to Baker Mayfield after the dinner, so feel free to tweet him at Baker Mayfield and tell him to come onto my show. I'll stay up all night to do the shoot if he wants. I'll give you the real deal, Baker. I will not blow smoke up your ass, okay? I will tell you about Denver and why it is awesome. I will tell you how to tell the New York Jets how to fuck off, Baker. I can do that for you. Keep Talib is gone. TJ Ward is gone. Malik Jackson's been gone. Danny Trevathan's been gone. Wade Phillips is gone. David Bruton's been gone. Kayvon Webster, he could come back. And now CJ Anderson is gone. The NFL is a brutal business, and my loyalty to players would make me the worst GM in NFL history. Yes, even worse than Matt Millen. But I want to wish CJ Anderson good luck, and I hope he finds his way to Miami, Philadelphia, or anywhere that is not Oakland, Kansas City, or San Diego. I mean LA. I'll even wish him well in New England, because I think he's exactly the kind of running back Tom Brady would open-mouth kiss longer than his own son. Sorry if you're not into that sort of thing, CJ, but that's how they do in New England. That's how they do. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Have you not subscribed yet? Do the subscribe thing. Sub. Subway sandwiches are okay, not very much good anymore. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna. Give me a follow there if you want to talk football. I do talk football there. If you like the video, copy the link and share it somewhere.